Good evening. Today is Sunday, November 24th, 2024, and this is the weekly Bitcoin price forecast. So, looking at where Bitcoin went in the last week and where Bitcoin could potentially go in the future. So, this is the monthly chart. You can see this candle on the right. It's the biggest candle in Bitcoin's history. This is, and the month's not even over. We still have 7 days left in the month, 6 days left in the month, but we got a week. $27,000, almost $28,000 that this candle has gone in the span of a couple days. So obviously we had the election at the beginning of the month, and then from there the lid just absolutely came off. So 27,000, I think this is only going to accelerate. You see how this candle makes all these other candles look tiny, and how these candles make all these other little candles look tiny, and the candles like this, they make all these other little ones look tiny. That's what's going to happen. That's what's going to happen. Like these next several candles, the next maybe year's worth of candles is going to absolutely dwarf the rest of these candles. So this 27,000 people are like, oh, that's great. That's the beginning. This is where it starts to get exciting. So I hope you're prepared. There are way more plays than Bitcoin. So I do encourage y'all to check out the Escape Velocity course, our boot camp for Pulse on Crypto. We just released that on the 11th. So that's packed with really all the plays that can make you money for real. Because the realistic thing is, if your only option is just to buy Bitcoin, your only play is to buy Bitcoin at this point, you missed the boat, buddy. I'm sorry, you missed the boat. You might get a Forex, and that's nice, but that's not life-changing money. Like, you have the opportunity to make life-changing money. And we show you kind of how to do that in the course. Like, there's a lot of other ways to make money than just Bitcoin. So we talked about the monthly chart. Let's talk about the weekly chart. Look at the imbalance that this is leaving. So I have this indicator that looks at the imbalance and kind of shows me where it is with green and red markings. But leaving this all behind is like, this is not pulling back at all. And I don't really forecast it to pull back too much. Like maybe to clean up all this imbalance would mean that it would have to come back down to 73,000. And this is already a highly contested area, super contested. Like look at how many times like this area has been assaulted from kind of below. But like if it comes down, it's going to immediately rebound. And I think that's just too far of a drop at this point for it to do that. Once you start moving exponentially and parabolically, it doesn't turn around. It slows down. Well, it doesn't slow down. So again, it played out perfectly, right? This long, boring upward trend, but still an uptrend. And then it, did the major moves at the beginning of 2023 going into 24. No, this is 24. This is 2024. And then, this big 8-month range. And then it just started that parabolic motion. So I kind of drew it out a little bit, with these extending slope lines. So really, if you look at it, we're at 100K. I mean, I'm downplaying that. We're at 100,000 right now. This gold line has been sitting here for a while. This is $100,000. And you see, like, we just came up to there and tapped it. And actually, we didn't quite tap it yet. It got to like 99,800 or something like that. It was a tease. It was a huge tease. But it's all good. Next week we will hit it. There's no doubt in my mind. This is a huge move. Like these big candles up, but it is expected to have some a roadblock at 100,000 because it's probably the biggest psychological level that we have. From there, maybe 250 will be another one. Well, 200,000, 250. 300, and so on and so forth. But like those big psychological levels, you'll usually see some pullback there. Just kind of depending, but not big pullbacks. Pullbacks will not last long in markets like these because the everyone kind of dives on them all at once. Okay, let's look at the daily charts. This is what I was talking about, like this parabolic motion. If I zoom out, I need to zoom out. So like it's really the uptrend. You have this uptrend that went up to the top of this bull flag channel and then, came down and then it kind of rebounded again and broke through that. And then that took a lot of energy and like there's still sell orders up here. So it's like this pauses for a little bit, then it breaks through again. But as you see, the curve is just getting steeper and steeper. So like even at this point, like if this one pulls back, it's only pulling back to like 87 or I don't know, let's say down here, like 83. So I said something about 70 or something earlier. I don't even see that being realistic. It's not realistic to even get down there. And plus you would have to deal with this area too. So I would say at your lowest, you're probably it's probably trapped between here. It's probably trapped between there, I would say. Here and here, like now we're at the point where we can start playing volleyball games pretty much to where we can go between different levels as opposed to just staying within that bull flag. So it gets a little bit more exciting on the technical analysis side. More, it's not boring anymore. It is no longer boring. So yeah, you still have that imbalance there. I could see it coming down just a little bit before turning up, but I think there's just so much demand coming out of the gate at this point, coming into Monday and going into Thanksgiving weekend. So this will be an abbreviated week. So if they're going to get any money in, it's probably going to happen on Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday. Yeah, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then Thursday. And I want to say Thursday and Friday the markets are closed, but definitely Thursday. So the futures market, I'll have to see when that is, but who knows. I think that's enough on the charts. Forex Factory, looking at the news, there's nothing here. Consumer confidence, really all the big news that everyone cared about: who's the president and what are the interest rates going to be? All the other stuff. Like now that we're in a rate cutting season, that's really all that people's eyes are on. So as long as those rates keep coming down, people are going to keep buying all these assets. So it's cool. We don't have to spend time on that. I've talked about this, the Bitcoin stock to flow model. This is a model made by Plan B. He has basically there are several assets with stock to flow models. So there's like gold stock to flow, silver, some of these hard assets really. But what you see is essentially a model, which is the brown line, and then the actual price of Bitcoin in this colored line. This is Bitcoin's price over time. And the color here is like it starts at red. These dotted lines are the Bitcoin halvings. They're the Bitcoin halvings that happen roughly every 4 years. So that's the start of the halving, and it starts out red, and then as it gets on into the halving, it looks like it cools off, and then you start a new halving cycle. It gets blue and purple. But basically, the point is here, it kind of predicts the price and where it can go, and it'll undershoot and overshoot the model every now and then. But you can see two things. One, the model's getting more defined. Like, okay, this is kind of messy, and then it went up, and then it was still kind of curved, and now it's getting a little straighter, and now it's like super straight. So really, what's happening, I think, is the thing I can see here is that this line down here, this is the variance around the model. So how much does it overshoot, and how much does it undershoot? Overshoot, undershoot. And as you can see, it's kind of tightening a little bit. Like it's kind of decreasing over time. It's getting closer and closer to zero. Like, hey, the variance is it's decreasing. It's getting more and more accurate. There's less variance from the model, meaning that the model is more and more correct. With that being said, the model is currently predicting by August, really by May, we'll be at a $400,000 Bitcoin and probably cap out around like 450 or something like that, 430. It's incredible. Like, this is incredible because I think we're going to end up overshooting. I think the demand is going to be so pent up that we're going to overshoot this 400. We're probably not going to hit 1 million realistically, but I think we can probably hit about 600,000. That's not a prediction, but I think we're going to overshoot, and I think we're going to end up resting somewhere around the 400,000. So really, the 400,000 is my line. Originally, my prediction was about 250 by the end of 2025, but I think that's way too conservative now. That was like back in 2023. And keep in mind, like there was a lot going against Bitcoin and the broader crypto space in 2023, so that was way more conservative back then. I'm much more bullish now. I was bullish back then. I'm way more bullish now. I knew about stock to flow back then, but part of me didn't believe it was realistic and whatnot. But yeah, we're absolutely gonna overshoot this for sure. Yeah, it's good. I'm excited. So we talked about that. That's just a model. I kind of like to go over some of these every now and then to just check in on and see how it's progressing. But yeah, we'll maybe do another chart next week. This is a big one. Michael Saylor. Michael Saylor reveals MicroStrategy is making $500 million a day with Bitcoin. Think about that. $500 million. MicroStrategy has outperformed the entire S&P this year, and the only thing that they did was consistently buy Bitcoin. That's it. Nothing else. All they did was buy Bitcoin and continue to add to their balance sheet, and it has paid off immensely. It's paid off immensely. So Michael Saylor says we're making $500 million a day with Bitcoin, and we may very well be the most profitable company in the U.S., growing the fastest right now. Yeah, no, it's incredible. It's incredible what they've done with the stocks and whatnot. So this is just a chart of MicroStrategy's holdings over time, like how much have they held. So this is going back to 2020. They started buying, so they brought 21,000, and they upped it again, and bought in $10,000 Bitcoin clips, and eventually got up to 100K. And they chilled out for about 2 years as the market tanked. And then starting in about January of 23, when the market really did bottom out, they started buying again and buying more and more and more, and kept on buying it up, and now they're at about 300,000. So you can see as time goes by, this is getting more. It's like a parabola. It's getting more and more exponential. And as time goes by, it's getting faster and faster. So he may hit 1 million Bitcoin. Who knows? He might get to Satoshi. Wow, Satoshi status. The creator of Bitcoin, he has his wallet has 1 million Bitcoin in it, and I don't know if any of them have moved. So I mean, you can see this all on the blockchain and do your own kind of investigation. I may have to look at that sometime, but who knows? I don't really have too much else to talk about. I think that's about it for this week. The moral of the story is it's going up. It's going to keep going up. And other than that, I think I'll see y'all on the moon. So I guess I won't. Let me see. Thursday is Thanksgiving. Yeah. So everyone have a happy Thanksgiving. If you're traveling, safe travels for sure. Spend time with your family, your loved ones. Tell them all about crypto. If you've been listening and whatnot, make sure to educate the people. Each one teach one, pretty much. So other than that, y'all, like I said, happy Thanksgiving, and I will see y'all on the moon. Take care. Bye-bye.